Hello everyone, welcome to this exclusive video launching the Darlington Football Club 2022-23 season home and away kit vote in association with Joma. Always an exciting time of the season this, and always generates lots of debate amongst the fans online, which is always good to see. For those of you who don't know, my name is David Steele. I'm a director of DFCSG. I'm a Darlington fan of some 32 years now, and I'm an all-round football kit nerd. And I'm delighted to be joined by John Saddington, who, funnily enough, is also a DFCSG director, Darlow fan of some 32 years, an all-round football kit nerd. John, nice to see you. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Thank you, David. Good to see you. Hello to everyone who's watching. I appreciate you taking the time to review the kit selections with us, and I do hope that you like what we've come up with.
So just before we get into it, John, we start looking at the latest designs. Would you just briefly talk us through and give us some context of your role as the kind of liaison between DFCSG and the kit manufacturers that we have and have had?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've fulfilled the role for about 3 years now, initially working with Puma and now Joma. The role involves working on the kit designs, selecting training kit for the first team, making sure sponsors are happy with how they're represented on the kit, coordinating deliveries, making sure that our teams, all our teams, the women's team, the academy, have all got the kit they need. And whilst I'm the lead contact with the manufacturers, there are many people making sure that all that happens. And when it comes to kit selections for the vote, we gauge the opinion of lots of stakeholders, lots of different people, in terms of which options we're going to present to the supporters. So it's not just my choice, it's a collection, a collaborative decision that we come up with to present the choices to the supporters. Yeah. So that includes our main sponsor, the board of directors, the DFCSG board, the retail team led by Lynn Jasper, our commercial people that are in charge of the finances, the kit man, and of course the management team as well. So yeah, it's a real, lots of people involved before we head out to the supporters group.
It's not your fault, is basically what you've just said there, isn't it?
It's definitely not my choice.
And you mentioned there that for the previous 3 years you worked with Puma, and they obviously delivered 3 hooped home shirts based on fans' vote. And then for this season we moved to a new manufacturer, Joma. And the fans voted for a complete change in design for both home and away, as you can see on my shirt here with the sash.
Yeah.
What do you think happened there?
I think we were acutely aware as a supporters group that the history of the club includes both hooped shirts, plain white shirts, and a variation of white and black kits. So we were all conscious of the need to keep the kits fresh, keep the designs fresh. But the recent questionnaire on the kits confirmed what we were thinking, really. So the approach of mainly hooped shirts with a change to a non-hooped option every 3 years or so seemed to be about the right compromise. So the kits that we've come up with this season is a change. I think it's a positive change. It's a good change. It keeps things fresh. And it's nice to see that continuity between the home and the away kits as well. I think that works really well. And a sash is a really nice, clean kit. It's a good choice. It's something we've never had before. No. And yeah, I think the vast majority of people were happy with that. So yeah, positive change, but we'll be back to the hooped option this season.
So that's a good point. We had the consultation with the fans recently and got some interesting answers. So off the back of that, what was the kind of brief for Joma for 22-23?
Yeah, it was to look at something new, something exciting, but based upon a hoop design. And I think it's important to clarify that when we come to design the shirts, we can add little details. We can select the colour options for cuffs and collars and so on. We can change the collar design, whether it be a round collar, a V-neck collar, like a shirt collar. But each manufacturer has their approved designs or a catalogue that we need to work with. Yeah. And they need to be sure that their designs don't conflict or copy with what other brands are putting out. So it's a combination of making sure that it's a Joma design, but it's also very much a Darlow design as well. And I think what we've come up with this season is a really good combination that serves both those purposes.
Well, let's get stuck into them. Let's have a look at the home options. And whilst you're digging those out, just for clarity, this time around, slightly different to previous seasons, we're going for 3 options for home, 3 options for away, and it's a straight shootout between the 3 options, i.e. each fan will get a vote on a home shirt, a vote on an away shirt, and there's no kind of semi-final final.
That's right, yeah, just a straight shootout, 3 options in the final. And I understand we're going out with the home and away kits at exactly the same time. So yeah, people get to choose them and get clarity really quickly on that. So yeah, it's good. Shall we start and have a look at these options?
Go ahead, I'm excited.
So option 1 for the home kit. So yeah, you can see it's a hooped option. So we've got the plain back again, and that's very much part of the kit, the catalogue, the manufacturer's style is to have this plain back on the shirts at the moment, and that does give you a nice plain back for the number, the sponsor, the player's name. There's a lot to get on there, and we've added something else on there this season. So you'll see on all the designs underneath the collar we've got this nod to our history. We've got the old logo, the old-fashioned letters of the football club DFC. So that's something that's on every single option home and away this season. So this season what I'd like to do is on all the options is just zoom in on the kits and have a look at the detail, because I think that detail is really important. So you can see that the manufacturers have gone for this dotted design to the bands, and it gives us, it's very similar actually, the 3 bands to the ISL kit, isn't it? The Brian Little kit that he designed. But you've got this fading throughout the shirt and this very intricate detail of the hoops. So some are thinner in their density, some are more packed in their density, but it's a good option. And then we've got the Joma badge on the sleeve that doesn't appear on the kit this season, and we've got the red cuffs and collar, and it's a round collar. The collar on the shirt, again, very similar to this season, is the same material that you get on the shirt itself.
Yeah.
So that is option 1.
I think that and the next option we're going to look at is interesting, because I think it can satisfy a hoop traditionalist, but also those that maybe want something a bit different. I think if one shirt can straddle those 2 pools of people, I think this and option 2 kind of does that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. So we'll move on to option 2. So this is option 2. And similar to option 1, the devil is in the detail as you zoom into the shirt.
Yeah.
And you'll see there that nice detail on the hoops, which are almost triangular in shape if you look at the front on option of the shirt.
Yeah.
You'll see that quite similar to the design that Puma put out a few years ago, that was the runner-up in the vote, where it was in the quarters, but you've got these tight lines.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
which essentially make up a more solid block when viewed from a distance. So yeah, that's option 2.
And again, a bit like option 1, you've got the red E-back, and that brings out the red in the badge, and red seems to be the kind of home kit kind of 3rd colour of choice, the accent colour. Red seems
it's very much been adopted by us, hasn't it, as the accent colour on the shirt. So if we're using a trim, we tend to use red now, and I think that's worked really well. But even going back to the 70s, you saw red on the kit, don't you? With that Buckter kit, it had the red collar. So red's always part of our history, but ever more so, I think it's something that we've embraced as a fan-owned club.
Yeah,
which is great. And this is option 3 for the home shirt. What I will focus in on this one is the collar. So variance to the other 2 shirts, this collar isn't the same material as the shirt. This is a sturdier collar. It's a different design to the collar. So that's an important feature. This shading here on the shirt isn't actually shading, that is detail that you see on the shirt itself. So when we zoom in there, you can see that those lines will feature on the shirt. So that's quite a nice detail. And underneath the armpit, there's a on this particular option, there is a, what do you call it, Dave? You've got a panel, like a breathable panel.
Like a mesh type panel.
Yeah, a mesh panel underneath the armpit. And then E-back is a little bit smaller on this one to make sure that it fits between the hoops. But again, that's something that we're in dialogue with E-back about, who, again, I'm pleased to say will be our sponsors next season.
So if you want the classic kind of hooped Darlow shirt, that's your option. But again, some nice modern twists. And also, you mentioned the 89 kind of 1991 kind of hoop at the top, hoop in the middle, hoop at the bottom. This has more of a feel of that Puma shirt from a few years ago that had the kind of fold over collar, where there's a number of thinner hoops rather than the 3 bands.
Yeah, there's a lot more there, isn't there? So it's slightly thinner hoops. Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely.
So
really good.
That's our option 3. So we'll move on to the away choices now. So what we've done is we've got a red option, we've got a yellow option, and we've got a turquoise option for the away kit. So this first one is a red option, and from the fan questionnaire that we put out on kits, overwhelmingly red was the kit of the colour of choice, the preferred colour, and I think that comes from our conversation about it being our accent colour now.
I think so.
So there's some nice details on this shirt. Again, you can see there's a panel underneath, a breathable panel underneath the armpit. You got the Joma logo on the shoulders, and you've got this black trim to the collar and the cuffs. That's a nice option. And the design that you see on the front, you'll also see on the back. That subtle design.
And there's a really nice synchronicity with the colours of the shirt with the badge, isn't there? Kind of the black, white, and the red, all in a different version to the home version, but very identifiable as us, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a nice shirt.
Yeah, really nice.
And then option 2, I need to emphasise that this is not Hartlepool blue.
Let's get that out.
Turquoise. And if you look at Swansea's home kit this season, you'll see that Swansea have used this template on their home kit, and it looks really good. See, it's black and white for Swansea, but that looks really good. And the turquoise that we've chosen, they've actually used on their away kit. So if you have a look at Swansea's away kit online this season, you'll be able to see what that looks like. I think if this was the winner, we'd probably go with the colour-coded badge, as we did with the green Puma shirt. Because that worked really well. I think red could be a little bit jarring on this shirt. So
I don't think it sits right. I think you're right.
Again, it's the modern way, isn't it? Colour coding. So if it's good enough for Chelsea and Arsenal and all the rest of it, then it's good enough for Darlow, isn't it?
And I don't think we've ever had a turquoise away shirt before.
No, never.
That would be a first if that was to win.
And then option 3 is, the eagle-eyed ones of you will see that it's exactly the same template shirt as the red shirt, option 1, but it's a yellow version of it. And again, we might do something colour-coded with this if that was the winner. So yeah, they are your options for all your kits for this season. So I do hope you like one of them, at least one of them.
Yeah, no, great work there, John, with working with Joma on those. I think we've listened to the consultation for the home and away options, but I think there's variety there. So I think I can see kits that I know will satisfy certain fans and other kits that will satisfy certain other fans, and that's the whole point, is that we give options and we give a variety and we let the fans
absolutely
best.
Yeah, and I understand. Yeah, how do we go about voting, Dave?
So this year the vote is open to anybody that has a free Your Club subscription. So I know last year there was an element of voting where you had to be an owner, i.e. a DFCSG member, to vote. And we want as many Darlow fans who aren't owner members to become owner members, but we get that it might be possible for everybody, especially given we're getting towards Christmas. So what we've agreed this year is that anybody who has a free Your Club subscription can vote on both the home and away. So if you don't have a Your Club subscription, firstly, why don't you? But secondly, get over to Your Club, sign up, takes 30 seconds of your time to do it, and then you head to the polls section within your dashboard and you'll see the votes open for both home and away that will run until 7 o'clock on Sunday, I think, is the deadline for the votes.
Yeah, great.
And to reiterate, we're doing just a straight shootout between the 3 kits for home and 3 away, and winner takes it all.
Brilliant. Excellent. So, yeah, get voting then.
Thanks, John. Appreciate that. It was a really good overview. And let's see what we wind up with next season.
Yeah, great. Very exciting.
Thanks,
Cheers,
everyone. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.